Welcome to my YouTube channel. Every coin has a history where history meets hidden fortune. Here I share real videos of rare and old coins, including pieces worth millions that can truly change a collector's life. If you love coin hunting, rare finds, and valuable treasures, this channel is your guide to the world of priceless coins. The 1995 United States quarter dollar, officially known as the Washington quarter, represents one of the final regular issue quarters struck before the historic transition to the 50-state quarters program in 1999, making it an important late 20th century coin in American numismatics. Issued during a period of economic stability and technological advancement in U.S. minting, the 1995 quarter continues the classic Washington design that was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1995, this design had already become one of the most recognized coin images in the world, symbolizing continuity, trust, and national identity. The obverse of the 1995 quarter features John Flanagan's left-facing bust of George Washington, with refined details that reflect decades of die improvements, including sharper hair definition, smoother facial contours, and cleaner field surfaces compared to earlier mid-century issues. The inscriptions, "Liberty," appear prominently above Washington's head, while the national motto, "In God We Trust," is placed to the left, and the date 1995 appears at the bottom. Mint marks, when present, are located on the obverse to the right of Washington's ponytail, with P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco proof issues only. The reverse of the 1995 Washington quarter displays the familiar heraldic eagle design, also created by John Flanagan, featuring a proud eagle with outstretched wings perched atop a bundle of arrows, symbolizing military readiness and national defense, while olive branches below represent peace. Above the eagle is the inscription, "United States of America," with "E pluribus unum," placed just below it, emphasizing unity among the states, and "quarter dollar," inscribed at the bottom. By the mid-1990s, this reverse design had been in continuous use for more than 6 decades, making the 1995 issue part of the final generation of circulating quarters to carry the traditional eagle motif before it was replaced by state-specific designs. The coin's composition follows the standard modern clad formula introduced in 1965, an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, resulting in an overall composition of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. The coin has a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, a weight of 5.67 grams, and a reeded edge, specifications that ensure compatibility with vending machines and coin handling systems worldwide. In terms of mintages, the 1995 quarter was produced in very large quantities, reflecting the heavy demand for circulating coinage in the U.S. economy at the time. The Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 744 million quarters, while the Denver Mint produced around 785 million, making 1995 one of the higher mintage years for Washington quarters. In addition, the San Francisco Mint produced proof versions for collectors, struck with specially prepared dies and planchets to achieve mirror-like fields and frosted devices. These proof quarters were included in 1995 proof sets and are highly prized for their sharp detail and visual appeal. There were no silver proof quarters issued for circulation in 1995. However, some special silver proof sets, 90% silver, were offered to collectors, distinguishing them from the standard clad proofs. From a circulation and usage perspective, the 1995 quarter played a vital role in everyday commerce across the United States, being used extensively in retail transactions, public transportation, parking meters, laundromats, and vending machines. As a result, most circulated examples exhibit signs of wear such as flattened high points on Washington's hair and cheek, reduced feather detail on the eagle's wings, and contact marks from decades of handling. Despite this heavy circulation, The sheer volume of coins produced means that uncirculated examples are still readily available today, especially in mint state grades MS60 to MS64. Higher grade specimens, particularly Mississippi 65 and above, are more challenging to find due to bag marks and handling damage that occurred during mass distribution, making gem quality examples more desirable to collectors. In the collector market, the 1995 Washington quarter is generally considered a common date, with modest values in circulated condition, typically close to face value unless exceptional condition or errors are present. However, uncirculated coins can command higher prices depending on grade, with premium examples graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC achieving stronger demand. Proof 1995's quarters are especially popular among collectors of modern proofs due to their crisp strikes and deep cameo contrast. Additionally, error coins from 1995, such as off-center strikes, doubled dies, clipped planchets, or misaligned dies, can significantly increase the coin's value and are actively sought by error coin specialists. Historically, the 1995 quarter holds added significance as part of the pre-state quarters era, representing the end of a long-standing design tradition that would soon give way to one of the most successful coin programs in U.S. history. Collectors often include the 1995 issue in complete Washington quarter sets or type collections to illustrate the evolution of American coinage design and minting technology. For many Americans, the 1995 quarter also carries nostalgic value, evoking memories of everyday life in the 1990s, a decade marked by economic growth, the rise of the internet, and major cultural shifts. In summary, while the quarter $1995 may not be rare in the traditional sense, its historical placement, massive circulation role, classic design, and connection to the closing chapter of the original Washington quarter series give it lasting importance and enduring appeal in both numismatic study and popular memory. The 1995 Washington quarter also offers an important window into the minting technology, quality control, and economic conditions of the United States during the mid-1990s, a time when the U.S. Mint had largely perfected high-speed, high-volume coin production. By 1995, computer-assisted die engraving, laser measurement tools, and improved metal bonding techniques were standard, allowing the mint to strike hundreds of millions of quarters with remarkable consistency in weight, diameter, and metal composition. Despite these advancements, the enormous production numbers meant that many coins still left the mint with bag marks, minor scratches, or weak strikes, particularly on the eagle's breast feathers and Washington's hair above the ear, areas that collectors closely examine when grading. These subtle differences make the 1995 quarter an educational coin for beginners in numismatics, as it clearly demonstrates how strike quality, surface preservation, and luster can vary widely within a single year in mint. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint often show slightly softer strikes compared to Denver issues, while Denver coins, though generally sharper, can exhibit heavier contact marks due to higher output and bulk handling methods. From an investment and long-term collecting perspective, the 1995 quarter is not typically viewed as a high-return asset, but it holds steady appeal as part of complete date and mint collections and modern U.S. type sets. Collectors who focus on condition rarity pay close attention to top population examples in Mississippi 67 and Mississippi 68, where even common dates like 1995 can achieve notable premiums due to the difficulty of finding nearly flawless coins. Proof versions, especially those with deep cameo contrast, are often preserved in original government packaging, helping them maintain stable demand over time. Additionally, the 1995 quarter is frequently used in educational collections, coin clubs, and classroom settings to teach the fundamentals of clad coinage, grading standards, and the difference between business strikes and proof strikes. Its widespread availability makes it accessible, while its historical placement just before the state quarters program gives it contextual importance, ensuring that the 1995 Washington quarter remains a meaningful and enduring example of modern American coinage rather than merely a forgotten piece of pocket change. Another important aspect of the 1995 quarter dollar lies in its role within specialized collecting niches, particularly air varieties, die states, and strike characteristics, which add layers of depth beyond its face value reputation. Collectors carefully study 1995 quarters for signs of doubled dies in the inscriptions such as "Liberty," "In God We Trust," or the date, which can occur when a die receives multiple misaligned impressions during the hubbing process. Although dramatic doubled dies are rare for this year, minor doubling and machine doubling examples do exist and are often used to educate collectors on the difference between true hub doubling and post-strike mechanical doubling. Off-center strikes, where the design is not fully centered on the planchet, and clipped planchets, caused by improper metal strip feeding, are also known from 1995 issues and can command premiums depending on the severity and eye appeal of the error. Additionally, late-stage die wear coins, sometimes referred to as die deterioration doubling, show a rough, swollen appearance on letters and devices, reflecting the intense workload placed on dies during this high-production year. For advanced numismatists, studying these variations in 1995 quarters provides valuable insight into the stresses of modern mass minting and reinforces why even common date coins can become highly interesting when examined closely, carefully preserved, and properly attributed within the broader context of U.S. coin production history. From a cultural and historical viewpoint, the 1995 Washington quarter also serves as a subtle yet meaningful reflection of American identity in the final years of the 20th century, when national symbolism on everyday objects remained largely unchanged despite rapid social and technological transformation. At a time when digital payments were still uncommon and physical cash dominated daily transactions, the quarter was one of the most frequently handled coins in the country, passing through millions of hands each day and quietly reinforcing familiar national imagery. The enduring portrait of George Washington, unchanged in basic form since 1932, represented stability, leadership, and continuity, values that resonated strongly during the 1990s as the United States navigated globalization, expanding financial markets, and the early stages of the Internet age. For many people, the 1995 quarter became part of routine experiences: school cafeterias, arcade games, parking meters, and payphones, embedding it deeply into everyday memory rather than formal history books. In addition, the 1995 quarter occupies a transitional position in numismatic history, standing just a few years before the launch of the 50-state quarters program, which would dramatically reshape public interest in coin collecting. Coins like the 1995 issue are often viewed by historians as the last generation of truly uniform national circulating designs, produced before regional themes and rotating imagery became standard. This context has gradually increased appreciation for late-date Washington quarters among collectors who value continuity and classic design. Over time, as fewer high-grade examples survive due to circulation wear and attrition, uncirculated and proof 1995 quarters are likely to gain modest historical premium as representatives of a concluded era. Thus, beyond metal content and mintage figures, the quarter dollar of 1995 stands as a quiet historical artifact, one that connects economic function, national symbolism, and collective memory in a single, enduring piece of American coinage.